What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting they're possibilities for you to consider, in which you can then come up with your own logical conclusions. Welcome out, everyone, all of you great decoders around the world, wherever you may be, both male and female, masculine and feminine, that's right. My name is Logan, and this, of course, is Decode Your Reality, and today we're going to be breaking down and decoding light once again. Not just light, but the speed of light. This will be Speed of Light Part 2 Decoded. And if you're here, you probably checked out my first one. If you haven't seen the first one, check it out and come back. You don't have to watch these back to back. You can watch this one first. Doesn't matter, because I'm bringing all new material in with the Speed of Light 2. And I'm going to show with absolute certainty that we live in a predestined script. And what I'm going to show you is the source code. What I mean by the source code, it's the letters, symbols, numbers, the expressions of this reality, using people to do it by way of creating things, etc., etc. And I'm going to combine them all together like I normally do. So let's start off with the measurement of the speed of light in a vacuum. And this is 299,792,458 meters per second. I'm going to get into the feet as well, the conversion of that, but let's start off with the meters per second. And we're going to jump right into the numerology, which is the spoken word, speaking magic spells. And we're going to get into the science of numbers in Chaldean, the oldest known numerology on the planet, how this beautifully fits into all these other layers that we're going to be looking at: mathematics, alchemy, the tarot, cards of illumination, etc., etc. So right off the bat, what I wanted to do is I wanted to say the speed of light in meters per second through numerology. So 299,792,4548. And you notice it's a 167. And I knew what that meant right off the bat, but bam, there it was. The first bam of the night. It's the 39th prime number. And then we connect it right back to numerology. We go into Hebrew/Aramaic, and we get into the light bringer, Lucifer. I got the Christ as well coming in here. They're both in this presentation. But there it is, the light bringer. So is Lucifer, does it have anything to do beyond just light? It's right there, the speed of light, tied to the speed of light. And this 39 is the original. This is called hell. It's kind of interesting, but it's 39. It's going to be 75. If you go all the way up to the Hebrew gematria, 75, 39, you reduce it down, it's going to be the 12. It's always going to reduce down to the number 3, but nonetheless, it's going to bring in alchemy now into all this, and it's this element, yttrium. There's that letter Y. Isn't the snake of the shape of a snake's tongue in the form of a letter Y? You get the serpent in there, and the serpent's the sine wave, which is going to be talking about electromagnetism. But this element yttrium, there's the 88 miles an hour. There's time travel right there, and then this is the icon the Royal Society of Chemistry uses to represent this element. And there's the broadcast. And what is needed to broadcast information? Light. You get into photosynthesis, which is necessary for all of us to be here right now. But let's keep going right here. This is just a big gem right off the bat, but I decided to bring in mathematics just to get some more defining aspects of this source code and take the measurement of the speed of light in meters per second, bring it into the golden ratio. Golden is the sun. What delivers light to the world? Well, the light bringer, the sun. Lucifer and Jesus are tied to that. And this 299792458, this is where it appears. I got it circled right there. 227727606. And when you add that up, ladies and gentlemen, using the trusty calculator, you go right back to Lucifer again. How about that? So we not only get it by saying it through numerology, the science of numbers, and prime numbers in mathematics, but we get it through the digits of the golden ratio. This to me is absolutely undeniable. And why Lucifer is called the light bringer. It's right there. And then the 227, of course, if you divide 22 by 7, it's going to give you pi. And then you're going to get into the digits of pi. So pi and phi are huge layers in the makeup of this reality. This is part of the source code. And there's that yttrium. And then if we say yttrium, right? If we say yttrium, it's a 22. Here it is. If we say it through, we bring numerology again, the science of numbers, keeping in the same numerology family, not deviating away from that. Makes it easier to make connections when you use multiple ciphers. Try not to. It's the 22. So where are we going to go with this 22? Well, I decided to, for some reason, my mind was like, just go 22 letters in the alphabet. And you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute, why would you just randomly do that? Well, this is how the source code works. So rather than go all 26 letters, do 22, ends at the letter V. Now, what's fascinating about this, and why Chaldean is so special, because Chaldean connects to Hebrew, the language of the Hebrew, the Aramaic. How many letters in the Hebrew alphabet? 22, and I'm going to show you the connection. That is absolute in a few slides moving forward. But just look at how accurate this source code is, ladies and gentlemen. The speed of light. If we measure 22 letters of the English alphabet and do the numerology breakdown, it's an 84. And then bringing that right into the string of the golden ratio, there's that 84, occupying digits 16 and 17. It's going to be also 18 if you add the 1 point in there, but 16 and 17. And here's the second, bam! It's light. You see, folks? So the golden ratio talking about the sun, and the 84 occupying digits 16 and 17, and light is 16. I mean, you can't get any more obvious than that. That's how tightly woven Chaldean is into the script of life. Okay? But moving a little bit forward, I decided to take these digits of where the 84 is found and add them up. So going back here again, which is where light's going to be found, here are the digits of the golden ratio, where the 84 is. And again, the 84, to go back, we got it from the 22 letters of the English alphabet. And that's because we started with yttrium being 22 and yttrium being tied to Lucifer and the speed of light itself, measurement of that, et cetera, et cetera. So here are all the digits laid out, including the 1 point. And it's a total of 100 when you add them up. It's going to be 99 if you take the 1 point out of there, but it's going to be 100 if you take them all out there and together. And the 100 is very important because now we get into some television, some mainstream. And we get into this show, and I've mentioned this show so many times in so many decodes. Big shout out to all the people that were involved in this show. The CW for bringing it. It's on Netflix. It's a great show, but it's about these people that fall from the space, or they come down off the ark in space to inhabit the earth. And is this just telling us kind of how our beginnings started here? And these people were prisoners. These kids, they were prisoners. It's really interesting. But this 100, and there's the 18 is in there as well. You just got to flip that 8 right side up. And how many digits is this total? 18. You see? So did they know, the people that created this show, did they know, and were they following the guise of the golden ratio? Were they following what I'm showing here with this, with light? light coming down to play the game of life. That's what this is saying right here. This is how I interpret it. But did they know this? Did they have to know it? And then this element right here is going to be tied to the 84, polonium. And then this element right here, rubidium, which this has the all-seeing eye right on it. It's got 84 for its weight. Its average is 85, but this is its most abundant atomic mass. 37 is tied to the words eye in the sky in numerology. Let's just go there really quick and just show you this. Eye in the sky, 37. You see? And then even this word right here, shepherd. Whoops. 37. All right? Right there. Eye in the sky. Pretty obvious. Check out my eye in the sky decoded. But the speed of light, where does light come from? The eye in the sky. What is the eye in the sky? And then we have to bring in this polonium because there's the 84. Polonium's interesting because when you look at the alchemy of polonium, it's tied to the moon. Because this icon they use for the Royal Society of Chemistry, when you come down here and look at this right here, it says the image, this image right here, is based on Luna E1, the first spacecraft of the Soviet Union, the Luna program, right, for the moon. Now, I'm not going to get into whether or not people sent anything there. That's irrelevant. It's in the script. You can call it whatever you want. It's obviously connecting to the speed of light. And the moon has a lot to do with the light because the moon and the sun are the Ark of the Covenant. Remember, this show is all about the kids coming down off the Ark to inhabit the earth again. It's really interesting. Just based off of the golden ratio and where this 84 was found through the golden ratio and tied to light. And we're talking about the speed of light, right? So let's keep going. We're going to get into some Jesus Christ now. Christ being 18, Jesus being 18. This has got 18 total digits. So, you can clearly start to see that Jesus and Lucifer kind of are starting to look like one and the same, maybe the yin yang. One's the light of the world, one's the light bringer. There's a lot of confusion with all this stuff. But here we making heads or tails of it. 18 digits, Jesus is 18. And then, this is really kind of where it's at. This is the Ark of the Covenant right here. It's the sun and the moon. And this thing right here, in my opinion, is not self-illuminated. It has to rely on the sun to illuminate. That's why when you get a full moon, the sun's directly across from it in an astrological chart. When it's a new moon, the sun, it's almost right near the sun. This thing does not give off its own light. That's my opinion, though. And there's this reflection aspect, and there's something to this. But the moon, of course, is right here, and the moon is the 18th card in the tarot. And remember, we're talking 18 digits of where this 84 was found, tied to the word light. And the 100 that show. I mean, did we just incarnate from the moon? And the sun and the moon, that being the Ark of the Covenant, I mean, is this the incarnation-reincarnation process? Tied to the eye in the sky. There's something to this. But let's keep going. How about the letters of the Hebrew alphabet? I told you I'd be bringing that in because it's tied into Chaldean more than you think. But remember, I took the 22 digits of the English language and it ended up equaling the 84. And the 84 was found, and then the 100. So there you go. Bam! Just like that, folks. The 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, all of them, reduced all the way down to single digits, freaking 100. You see how that's connected right there? And you just go all the way back up to the 84 right here. And the 84 is tied to light, and then it was all found from taking the 22 letters of the English alphabet, leaving out W, X, Y, and Z. And you can see the source code. This is how direct this code is. And we found it all from Yttrium, going all the way back to Lucifer, the light bringer. So now we have a connection. Lucifer, Jesus, are they just one and the same? Hebrew, Chaldean, English, I mean, these languages that we use. I mean, this is kind of undeniable. But let's keep going. Now we get into the sun. So what I decided to do was add in one more digit of that sequence We have 18 digits right there. The 84 was there. And then we add in the 19th digit, and then it's the number 8. Of course, 19 is the 8th prime number. This is the 19th card. Here are the 19 digits right here. 19 digits. And the sun makes the 8 as the analemma as it moves across the sky, as does the moon. But we get a total of 108. What's up with the 108? We're going to bring alchemy into this. And this is the truth bomb. This was the big one right here. Right? Because it's this element hassium. And this icon is what the Royal Society of Chemistry uses. This right, and I stand corrected. In my Hotel Capricorn, I had said this was a dragon. Someone had corrected me. Thank you very much. I don't know I don't remember who you were, but this is a lion. That's what I meant. But it doesn't lion, dragon, same thing. But this is the lion, and this is 269. 200 fallen angel. 269 is the yin yang, and then we have the royal coat right here. And it's this German state of Hesse, Germany, tied to germanium, the 32nd element. And that's really interesting because, we then get right into the lion equaling the same thing as light. You see? So the mascot, right on that icon, representing hassium, which is tied to that 108 and the 19 digits now. So we did the moon with 18, now we got 19 with the sun. And it's tied to the lion, which is tied to light. See how that works? And then you bring in alchemy one more layer, and now you have a complete package. Now we have sulfur, and there's the 16 protons with sulfur. Sulfur's average is 32. Remember what germanium is? 32nd element. Germanium is tied to Germany, and this is where this element came from. You see, so there are no accidents. This is all part of the source code. Man could never sit down and try to orchestrate this. No way. This is all a predestined script. And then why I got the 5 here is because 5 is the only number that looks like the letter S. And if you're a fan of astrology, well, what's the 5th house of astrology? Leo. And what is Leo? The lion. Okay? It's right there. So these are all the connecting points that are part of the source code. And if you just then, what's up with the lion? Well, if you go to theology and you look at 1 Peter 5 verses 8, it talks about the lion right there. It says that your adversary, the devil, is a roaring lion. I wonder what that is, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think that could be? It's the sun devil, tied to the moon, and it's going to have duality tied to it. It gives us life, yeah, but it can cook you as well, and light is the devil. That's what operates this reality, is light. Without light, man, you're going to be stumbling around in the dark. You ain't going to be creating much without light. Go ahead and try to create something in a dark room. Good luck with that. You won't. You're going to fumble around. You need light to do it. So this is how important all this stuff is. And the great dragon that got hurled down, in Chinese, the 5th house of Chinese astrology is the dragon. So the dragon is the lion. The lion is the dragon. And even this 5 and 8, we're going to get into the 58 in just a minute here, just to show you the connecting point on that. But going back to the golden digits of the speed of light in the meters per second, we had yttrium, now we have potassium. This 39 connecting to yttrium, it also connects to the weight of potassium. It also connects to the weight of argon, which is the 18th element. Could have added that one in there as well. This big K right here is the Latinized spelling of potassium, called kalium, and there's the 17. And remember that the 17 is right here. This 84. And we remember where we found that from? The 22 digits or 22 letters of the English alphabet tied to yttrium in the first place, the numerology of yttrium. But it's digits 16 and 17, and then you get kalium in there. See how tightly woven this is? Tied to the speed of light. The light's so important. Light is everything to this reality. Everything to this reality right here. And how about the cards of illumination? Getting to the tail end of this presentation. How about the cards of illumination? How valuable these are describing our reality. 39th card in the deck is the King of Diamonds. All of you King of Diamonds out there, rejoice. You're tied to light. You're tied to the speed of light. The King of Light. If you're a fan of music and you like the band Avenged Sevenfold, they have a song called Hail to the King. And that they're talking about the sun, because it says right in the lyrics. You know, so face the sun. It's the sun, the king. That's why you're going to get the king. You're going to get the king with Jesus, and you're going to get Lucifer, the light bringer. Right? But it's kind of undeniable. And so what about this king of diamonds? Well, when you say king of diamonds, it gives you the 55. This is how tightly woven this is. This is so ironclad, this source code. It's a 55. This king of diamonds right here. And then we're going to bring that into mathematics, and 257 is the 55th prime number. And it's going to link to this element right here called fermium. And look at how many protons fermium has. 100. Keeping your eyes over here to the left side of the screen. And we just like that, bam, we have the 100 again. You see how tightly woven this is? So our origins, we come from the womb, yes, but you see the cosmos has its say and everything, which runs this reality, not man. We're being used as an experiment, folks. You just got to know your code. That's all you got to do. Figure out what the hell you're doing here. Connect with your source, whatever that looks like to you. Got to have fun with this reality. And this 100 I showed in my 33 decoded, my 42 decoded. I think one of those prison planet, I showed how big this was. Big, this element, this fermium element. And there it was, tied to that king of diamonds. So we add up the meters per second. We get 55. You see? 299, 792, 458, you get 55. And then we go right back to the king of diamonds. You see how tightly, this is the meters per second. I'm going to get into the feet per second in here in a second. But kind of undeniable if you ask me. And then we're now going to get into the conversion of the speed of light into the feet per second. 983,571,056 feet per second. And so I'm going to bring that into the string of the golden ratio, just like I did with the meters per second. And here's where it's located. 497,399,476 decimal digit of the string of the golden ratio. So what about that number right there? Well, when you add it up, it gives you a different outcome, but the same story. Gives you the number 58. And 58's tied to the puppet master. As I've been showing, as many of you great decoders have been showing, it's tied to this element right here called cerium. Cerium's is from the asteroid called Ceres, which is the god of, or the goddess of agriculture. What is needed to grow plants through agriculture? The freaking sun. And then I told you we'd be showing that 58 right there. There's the 58. So you tell me what this means. Right here. You tell me, now that you have the eyes to see it, get rid of all the programming, all the things that the church made up, all these stories and all. Forget all that. Think in letters, symbols, and numbers. And now what do you see? In alchemy. Now you can see, tied to the speed of light, measured through the feet per second. Kind of undeniable right there. And then if you say the golden ratio, 1.6180339, and of course, this right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 digits. Remember how big that 8 is? Well, it's the 140, which is tied to the weight, the average weight or atomic mass of cerium, tied to the total addition found through the golden ratio. And this, these 8 digits linked to the sun, folks. And this is the final slide for this presentation, Speed of Light Part 2. I hope you had a lot of fun. This one was a lot of fun making. I've had this one shelved for a while. But there it was right there. The sun, the 19th card in the tarot. 19 is the 8th prime number. This is what the pattern the sun makes as it moves through the sky. Sun and moon, it's the analemma. It's the analemma. And you can't miss it. And again, this is 8 digits of the golden ratio. So 8 digits of the golden ratio, when you say it out through numerology, is 140, ties to the atomic mass of cerium. Cerium's tied to the Ceres, the goddess of agriculture. You need light in order for agriculture to grow. 58's tied to the puppet master, which runs this reality, which is the sun and the moon. It's the Ark of the Covenant. It's tied to the speed of light. So ladies and gentlemen, what did you see? What did you see during this presentation? Would love to hear your comments. Keep them coming. Just keep them cordial, because you know how I am about the toxicity. I would delete them. no problem. I'll block people, no problem. I don't mind people stating their opinions, but you know, when it gets toxic, I have zero toleration for that. No need for it, right? Go make a channel, go make your own videos. Show us what you got instead of just stating an opinion that's toxic. Don't even need to do that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, sending you guys a ton of love, man, wherever you're at in the world. I appreciate all your support through all these years of Decode Your Reality. This is all of us making these videos. I'm taking you with me wherever I go. Those of you that are interested in readings, I do have some dates available in December, not many. So if you're interested, send me an email, decodeyourreality@gmail.com. Just request one, and I'll get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for today. My name is Logan. Until next time, we will see you later.